Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. We are here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We are going to go ahead and open up with the Vision. Here tonight, the Brawns are in action. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker tag team action here tonight. Not any regular tag team action. This match is a number one contenders match for the World Tag Team Championships. Now, of course, the Vision would still have a rematch clause, so I'm not sure if they win here tonight, if that completely, gets rid of that rematch clause, or if they have, let's say they win this match, if they have the number one contenders match opportunity, and then let's say they win it, lose it eventually, then they still have two more rematch. I'm not sure if they accumulate and they add up, but nevertheless, they have been inserted into this number one contenders matchup. They are accompanied by the Wise Man, the Oracle, Paul Heyman. They are accompanied by Austin Theory and the leader of the Vision, Seth freaking Rollins. The Brawns are here in some tag team action, looking to become the number one contenders to the World Tag Team Championships. Previously held them, unfortunately for them, losing those titles at WrestleMania, and now on the search to gain those back. Not only are the Brawns on the search to gain the tag team titles back, but I'm sure Seth Rollins is on the search to gain back the World Heavyweight Championship. Same with Seth. He has his rematch clause still that he can use. Of course, Brock Lesnar just last week won a number one contenders match for the title. He said he was, doing all of this to help out the Vision. So maybe Seth's just going to wait out and see if Brock Lesnar can get the job done, or if he will have to be the one to step in and try to steal back his championship from CM Punk. But their opponents here tonight, Los Payasos Locos, Psycho Clown, and Pagano. They've formerly got an opportunity at the World Tag Team Championships. At the World Tag... Yeah, I did say World Tag Team Championships. I'm having a lot of brain farts. I think it's time for me to go to sleep. I believe that was back when the Lost Souls were champions. Their first successful title defense came against Los Payasos Locos. So, Los Payasos Locos have already gotten opportunities at the World Tag Team Championships. And here tonight, looking to get another in this number one contenders match, we have Psycho Clown going ahead and beginning the match for Los Payasos Locos. On the other hand, we have Big Bronson Reed, who will begin the match for the Vision. Here in our tag team matchup, number one contenders match. We have an incredible night here set for you guys. We are confirming here. We will be hearing from the ring general Gunther. We will be hearing from Roxanne Perez, and we will be having another number one contenders match in the main event here tonight. We will talk more as the time goes on. As for now, we go ahead and open up our fantastic night to come with this incredible tag team action. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker battling it out against Pagano and Psycho Clown. Now, of course, instantly, gotta talk about the numbers game. The Vision have that advantage nice and early on. Not only do you have Austin Theory and Seth, who can definitely get there and get involved physically, you got the Oracle, who's just a freaking mastermind. And honestly, let's talk about this. You got Paul Heyman, who's a mastermind. He's a wise man. You have Austin Theory, young, fresh, can get involved. And you have Seth freaking Rollins, who's right down the middle. He's an architect. He's a visionary. He's a revolutionary. And he is a multiple-time world champion. So he can do it with the mind. He can do it with the muscle. Very dangerous people. Very good to have in your corner. Very bad to be facing off against. So, numbers game-wise, going to be a very tricky matchup for Pagano and Psycho Clown, as Big Bronson Reed right here with a big clothesline onto Pagano. But we'll see how this match goes. Just because they have that numbers game advantage does not mean that they've already won the match. It is still possible that we see a bit of a shocker here. So we'll just have to see how the match goes. As for now, Big Bronson Reed picking up and slamming down Pagano straight onto the mats and gonna look for the pinfall. 1, Two, not even two. A kick out at one by Pagano. As also being confirmed into my earpiece, we will be seeing from the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, Mr. Whoop That Trick, Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers. Trick Williams will be live in action later tonight. And as well, let's just go ahead and confirm the whole card for you guys. We will also be having the Dungeon Dolls in action against the Women's Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day. While there is no title on the line, of course, if the Dungeon Dolls go ahead and are able to pull off a huge upset and win the match here tonight, they surely make a big case and a big argument that they deserve a championship opportunity. All of that to come later tonight as we continue our focus onto this match. Big Bronson Reed continuing his assault onto Psycho Clown, doing some enormous damage as Psycho Clown sent into the ring, into the corner of the ring. And now, what is Big Bronson Reed going to look to do? Now looking to target the back of Psycho Clown, penetrating both the front and back very smartly, I guess, right there, making sure he's weak all over. Now suplex Big Bronson Reed to win the match. One, and quickly interrupted by Pagano, who interrupts the pinfall, breaking the count right there. Now tag made onto Braun Breaker. Psycho Clown, however, is still in trouble, able to move out of the way of a potential stomp from Braun Breaker. Maybe not the stomp you expect, like from Seth Rollins, but still a nice little stomp there. As tag made to Pagano. These two working together nicely as Pagano able to get some nice damage done onto Braun Breaker, while Bronson Reed was pretty dominant against both Pagano and Psycho Clown. Now that the Braun Breaker is in, this is a big opportunity for Los Payasos Locos to get onto the attack, as Braun Breaker's a little, he's not as hot, he's not as warmed up, so he's a little, easier to get through. And still, oh, look at that, instantly getting up. This man is going to be a future world champion, promised by Seth Rollins that one day both him and Seth will hold the World Tag Team titles, while Bronson Reed, Austin Theory can hold the IC or United States Championship. But for now, they are focused on the Tag Team Gold in this #1 contenders matchup. Braun Breaker rolls outside of the ring quickly, met by Pagano, who was looking for a double axe handle. Instead, he is caught by Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker able to counter the attack right there. As now Braun Breaker with a big hit onto the back of Pagano. Now onto the stomach. Pagano grabs Braun Breaker, sends him inside of the ring as the referee's count gets to 4. Pagano gonna look to fly. Big boot to the neck and throat of Braun Breaker. As Pagano is hyped up, he may be looking to put this match away. Big elbows to the face of Braun Breaker. Now looking to finish things off with a knee to the face. And that's gotta be it. There is no way. Braun Breaker kicks out. 1, 2. And no, there is a way, as Braun Breaker has been able to do it. He kicks out. Pagano in a bit of a shock. Makes the tag to Psycho Clown. And very understandably shocked by Braun Breaker being able to kick out of that. Braun Breaker trying to crawl his way to Bronson Reed. Sees that Psycho Clown was trying to attack him, so moves out of the way. But now Psycho Clown gonna look for a finish of his own pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Los Payasos Locos have won the match in a shocking fashion, as they were definitely the underdogs here tonight, but they are your new #1 contenders to the World Tag Team Championships. And well, I have to say that the reason for this loss is Braun Breaker not being ready. He came into this match, the moment he got tagged in, you realize this man wasn't warmed up. And Pagano, Psycho Clown used that to their advantage to make their way into this match, to start getting onto the attack, and eventually pin Braun for the 1, 2, 3. On the other hand, Bronson Reed was actually whooping both of the Payasos Locos' butts. Not going to be too happy for that with that loss. Whether it's Braun Breaker, Seth, the Vision as a whole, they are not going to be happy. But who is happy? Los Payasos Locos, as in the near future, they will be getting a championship opportunity. And maybe this time, they can fully take advantage of it. and become the new World Tag Team Champions. But for now, we must move on as we now move on to some women's singles action. Gonna go ahead and make a couple more debuts here tonight, as we have Kalani Jordan facing off against the third member of Fatal Influence, who we have not seen of yet until here tonight, JC Jane. That is right. That is the matchup we have up next. JC Jane versus Kalani Jordan. Both women making their Raw debuts. Both women making their main roster debuts. Things haven't gone the best for Fatal Influence. JC Jane gonna try to, break that curse, break that tradition, as Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix have both lost their debut matches. Maybe here tonight, JC Jane can go ahead and pull off the victory against Kalani Jordan and change her path compared to the rest of her Fatal Influence members. As here she comes, JC Jane, who many consider the leader of Fatal Influence. I think I would agree with that. It's going to be an interesting matchup, of course. A lot of these matches we've already seen in NXT, and that's what we want. We want them to be a little bit more comfortable with their opponents and not jump straight into the deep end. Does that happen for everyone? No. I mean, for instance, take a look at Hangman Tank. They instantly had to jump in against the Usos. They don't get that advantage. But maybe that's also what makes them better. They lost, but it's kind of a loss that you can kind of, agree with. It's like, well, it's the Usos. You guys got to learn. On the other hand, if you're facing a former NXT, roster co-worker or whatever you want to call it, and you lose to them, it's kind of like you've known this person. You should kind of know how to beat them. It's a bad look. So, while there's its pros, it's feeling comfortable in a matchup and not having all those nerves of making your debut. There's also its cons, because if you lose, it's kind of like you spent all that time in NXT facing them, and you've had four matches against them, and you still can't beat them. You're on the main roster. So, pros and cons, but nevertheless, this is the matchup we have here tonight. Kalani Jordan, JC Jane, making their main roster and Raw debuts. Women's singles action. How will this match go? Big opportunity for both women. I do believe they're pretty well known within the WWE universe, even if they're just making their move to to the main roster. Of course, JC Jane spent about 5 years down in NXT, so she's been able to build a great fan base and great connection with the WWE universe. Kalani Jordan spent some good time down there. I believe she held just the North American Championship, as well as his spouse. Is Carmelo Hayes? I'm not sure if they're officially married or dating, but she got a thing going on with Carmelo Hayes, so got connections through there. Both women have already kind of introduced themselves to the WWE universe, and here tonight it's about just starting off with the win, I think. I've been saying these matches are, kind of like don't really matter, but when you already have connections with the WWE universe, this is a match you want to win. So very crucial matchup for both Kalani Jordan, for both JC Jane. Lots at stake here to them, because this can go ahead and make or break the rest of this first season for them up on the main roster. I'm not saying you can't come back from a loss or you won't go ahead and start losing after a win, but it is very crucial to start off on the right foot. And at the moment, it is Kalani Jordan who is doing exactly that, doing some nice damage onto JC Jane, as Kalani Jordan looking to pick up JC Jane. Kalani Jordan looking to do some nice damage right here, sending JC Jane straight into the turnbuckle, as Kalani Jordan now with a big smack straight onto the face of JC Jane. And Kalani Jordan is not finished, as a big boot straight into the face of JC Jane. Big damage being done nice and early by Kalani Jordan, as she now climbs the top ropes, wants to fly, is able to make big connection into the pinfall. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Kalani Jordan already has some frustration growing. Understandably so. She has done quite a bit of damage onto JC Jane. Gonna have to do a little bit more. JC Jane with a big knee onto Kalani Jordan. Has not had enough time or opportunity to do damage, but does a lot with the first chance she gets. Kalani Jordan does quickly kick out of that, but JC Jane may have the opportunity to continue here now. Kalani Jordan instead sending JC Jane straight into the turnbuckle. Kalani Jordan now looking for the finish. Kalani Jordan, big damage done, and who is here? Thea Hale. Is Thea Hale trying to get involved in this matchup? Well, it seems like a lot like the New Day over on SmackDown. They're not physically here, and it seems like someone's helping JC Jane out. It may have been Jasmine over in the back, and this may allow JC Jane to get the victory. No, Kalani Jordan at the very last second, able to kick out at 2. JC Jane almost had the victory. She had almost stolen the victory. But Kalani Jordan, at the very last second, able to get up just enough energy, just enough power to lift up her shoulder and kick out at 2. And now with that, Kalani Jordan once again back onto the attack. As Kalani Jordan gonna look to fly, takes a little too long jumping off of the top ropes. That allows JC Jane to recover. Knees up, and now JC Jane onto the attack. Big damage done to Kalani Jordan. And once again sending herself flying straight onto Kalani. As now a quick roll-up pin, and Kalani to win the match. 1, 2, and still a kick out by JC Jane, doing a very good job of keeping this match alive. However, Kalani Jordan wants to put an end to this match. Big right fist straight to the face of JC Jane. Kalani Jordan is not finished. Now a knee to the face. That may have just opened up a wound on the face of JC Jane, and now my days follows with a leg drop. Continuing the damage onto JC Jane. Kalani Jordan is looking so dominant here. Now looking to pick up JC Jane. Looking to send her straight into the turnbuckle. Maybe not. I lied. Instead dropping her down. Doing some damage onto her shoulder. Now slamming her down. Back first onto the mat. And Kalani isn't finished there. She wants to do more. She wants to make sure that JC Jane is not able to kick out of this time. Able to go ahead and send JC Jane into the turnbuckle. JC Jane quickly countering. Kalani counters herself as she moves out of the way just when JC Jane was going to throw herself onto... Oh my days, I think I just messed up the names a couple of thousand times. Whatever, we move forward. Kalani Jordan with her signature finish. 1, 2, 3. Saying their name so much messed me up. But it's alright, because who didn't mess up was Kalani Jordan throughout the whole match. She started off hot. She was moving quickly. She was pulling off crazy moves. And even though JC Jane kept kicking out of her moves, Kalani Jordan kept on asking, kept on knocking. And you know what they say in the Bible. It says, knock on that door and it shall open. Ask and you shall receive. And Kalani Jordan did exactly that. And she has received this debut match and a debut victory. As we see right there in the final moments, the signature move as Kalani Jordan was able to get the 1, 2, and the 3. And here on her debuts, Kalani Jordan gets the victory over JC Jane. And a very bad look for Fatal Influence, as out of 3 debuts for Fatal Influence, 3 losses. But nevertheless, celebrations begin for Kalani Jordan. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. And we are now going to hear from the ring general Gunther. Will he accept Goldberg's match? Let's go ahead and hear the ring general out. Goldberg, you want to put your career on the line. Now you are speaking my language. It is official. At Backlash, me and you will face off. Your career on the line. You will not humble me. You will not do anything except feed my ego that much more. And prepare your tears, because you will be retiring. And Gunther has officially accepted Goldberg's match and now confirmed for Backlash. We have Naomi versus Jade Cargill, Women's WWE Championship. We have Oba Femi versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. And now Gunther versus Goldberg, with Goldberg's career on the line as the self-proclaimed career killer continues to try to kill all these careers. Has already ended the career of Kevin Owens, of Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, trying to add Goldberg to that list. And as for matches, we are hoping we still hear from Roxanne Perez later tonight, and that she announces that it's happening at Backlash rather than next week on Raw, or at a different Raw. We are hoping it happens at Backlash. And the other one, which we won't be able to announce more likely than not till SmackDown, is the Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. If Cody accepts the stipulation that if he loses at Backlash, he can never challenge to Randy, he'll get the match. If he decides he doesn't want to accept that, he won't get the match. Knowing Cody, he'll accept. So, more likely than not, that's going to be the match card for Backlash, as that is right around the corner. But for now, we move on. We have some women's tag team action. We have the women's tag team champions here, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. And some tag team action with no gold on the line. Some people may say, oh, well, that makes them, scared little champions. They don't want to put their titles on the line simply because the other team hasn't earned the titles. Others say, why are you having a match without the titles? You're stupid if you lose. You then have to go ahead and give them an opportunity for the titles. The fans are split with this matchup, but nevertheless, here tonight, no titles on the line, but the Dungeon Dolls get an opportunity at the Women's Tag Team Champions. Again, no titles on the line, but nevertheless, a good opportunity to showcase, the difference between the champions and them. And if they win here tonight, they are able to go ahead and surely go talk to Adam Pearson, schedule a Women's Tag Team matchup with the titles on the line this time. So, a lot more at stake for the champions, but nevertheless, still can be a good opportunity to show that there are levels to this for the champions. If they just kind of squash their opponents, kind of be like, yo, no one can stop me. Kind of did that towards the beginning of Season 1, where they were just dominating until the Bella Twins came around. But even then, they quickly won the titles back and been doing pretty good since then. They've been able to successfully defend their championships against the Kabuki Warriors on the opening Raw after WrestleMania. Now, here tonight, non-tag titles, but still a good opportunity to go and showcase exactly why they're champions as we go ahead and begin this match. Judgment Day, the Women's Tag Team Champions against the Dungeon Dolls, Maxine Dupree and Natalia, who will go ahead and win this match as Raquel Rodriguez has quickly been tagged in, a big dominant force. And a big advantage of having someone like Raquel Rodriguez is that not a lot of women are this big. Not a lot of women are these powerhouses that can just dominate so easily. And I think that's what makes the Judgment Day, specifically Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez as a tag team, what makes them so successful. That's what makes them be able to be, what are they, 5-time, 6-time? Yes, 5-time as a team, Women's Tag Team Champions. Raquel Rodriguez, I think, alone being a 6-time, no joke, no pun intended, 7-time, a 6 or 7-time champion alone, and then with Liv Morgan, 5. It is that ability to have such a dominant force on your side, and that is a huge advantage that they must continue to take advantage of. Or, I guess a huge, I just said advantage too many times, so I wanted to switch it up, but wasn't able to find another word, but they gotta, penetrate with that, as at the moment, Maxine Dupree, Liv Morgan, the two legal superstars. Maxine Dupree doing a very good job right here with a big boot onto Liv Morgan. Once again with the modified missile drop kick, Liv Morgan rolls outside of the ring trying to do some damage onto Natalia, hitting the three amigos, and Maxine Dupree sees this, decides to attack Raquel Rodriguez, kind of like you're going to attack my partner, Well, I'll go ahead and attack yours as a referee's count. Slowly but surely getting closer to 10. Reaches 4 before Liv Morgan hops back inside of the ring. Now sent straight into the turnbuckle. Maxine Dupree with a big fist, and now finished there. Is what is Maxine going to look to do next? Trying to drop Raquel. Raquel angry, heads inside of the ring. That may have been a mistake, as she is now sent flying. Very good job from Maxine Dupree. I've been saying, of course, Raquel is his big force, but Maxine Dupree has been able to do pretty good when she isn't the legal superstar. However, she got to focus on Liv Morgan, who has just been able to hit the Three Amigos onto Maxine Dupree. A little celebration right there from Liv Morgan as well, as the fans cheer now off of the top ropes. Liv Morgan gonna look to fly, however, look at Maxine Dupree crawling away, trying to make the tag, and is able to make the tag onto Natalya, who is now the legal superstar. Liv Morgan almost, again, unintentionally moving out of the way. She celebrated to the fans as Natalya dived, and it was just perfect. That also happened to prevent the attack of Natalya, so whether she meant to or not, probably didn't mean to, was able to move out of the way of Natalya's attack, at least for a second, because now Natalya onto the attack, not allowing Liv Morgan to even freaking breathe. As soon as she gets up, she is quickly sent straight into the turnbuckle, dropping. And now Natalya, who was looking for a kick, is quickly countered. Liv Morgan now trying to get back onto the attack, trying to get back into the rhythm that she was moving at. Going to look to make the tag to Raquel Rodriguez. Is able to do so, and now Raquel, Natalya going to go at it. A big clothesline right there by Natalya, as Natalya now sends Liv Morgan flying. Distracted, though. Allows Raquel Rodriguez to try to do something here. No. Natalya is able to counter Raquel, slamming her down onto the mats. Oh my days, fierce energy and huge strength from Natalya. Maybe showing that size doesn't matter. As Raquel Rodriguez, we were, talking about how much of a boost. Never mind, hold on, quick roll up. 1, 2, a kick out of 2. I was about to say, we were talking about how much of a boost Raquel is because of her dominant frame, but so far in this match, it hasn't seemed to be that much of an advantage. She almost got the victory there with a quick roll-up, not able to fully get it, able to kick out, and now tag made onto Liv Morgan. It's Maxine Dupree, Liv Morgan, once again, both of the legal superstars in this match, and once again, Liv Morgan gonna rely on the Three Amigos to do some nice damage onto Maxine Dupree, and able to connect the third, as Liv Morgan now giving us a little Eddie Guerrero shake, a little shimmy, a little Latino heat, as Liv Morgan now off of the top ropes. Gonna look for the missile drop kick. Nobody home, as Maxine Dupree able to move out of the way, and now instead Maxine Dupree gonna look for the finish here. Gonna look for the submission hold, trying to make Liv Morgan tap out. Liv Morgan is able to escape nevertheless. Raquel Rodriguez was there ready to break the submission hold, but I do think Liv Morgan was able to escape before then. And now an opportunity for Liv Morgan, who was looking for the Three Amigos once again, maybe relying on that move a little too much, as this time Maxine Dupree knew exactly what was going at her, able to counter, at least for a moment, as now Liv Morgan trying again, and Maxine Dupree once again able to counter the Three Amigos. Maybe don't be so dependent on one move, and let's try a couple other, as now tag made onto Natalya. These two looking to work together to do a little bit of extra damage onto Liv Morgan. Liv still able to counter right here on Natalya. Gonna look for the Three Amigos, but Natalya is ready for it as well. Countering Liv Morgan, and now big clothesline, as Natalya looking to pull Liv Morgan away. Natalya gonna look for the submission. Can she secure the victory for the Dungeon Dolls right here? Liv Morgan is struggling. I see her face. She's reaching, trying to find an escape, but she can't. Natalya gets the victory. Liv Morgan has tapped. The Dungeon Dolls have just beaten the Women's Tag Team Champions. They have done it. Natalya, Maxine Dupree working beautifully to go ahead and beat the Women's Tag Team Champions here tonight. And now, I am very excited to say that there are surely a championship match and a rematch of what we just saw in the very near future. And with the titles on the line now, both teams step it up 10 times more, and having already won the match, the Dungeon Dolls come with a little bit of confidence. Having lost the match, Judgment Day gonna pick it up even more. It is bound to be a very interesting, a very exciting matchup, and I can't wait to see when that happens. But for now, we must keep moving forward. Congratulations to Maxine Dupree, Natalia, the Dungeon Dolls for such a huge victory. But now it is time to move on to some men's singles action. Up first, we have the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, Mr. Patrick, Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers, Mr. Trick Williams is here. And well, he is going to go ahead and face off against the man who's already been in the main roster before. Unfortunately, he had a rough patch, led to some unfortunate career-ending injuries. Here tonight, he's back at the main roster, trying to start off fresh. He knows the WWE Universe are still going to remember that moment, that they're still going to know him by that moment. And they may not even forgive him. They may hate him, but nevertheless, it's an opportunity for him to come back to the main roster, start afresh, and try to make something out of his career rather than just being the man who injured Big E. That is right. I'm talking about Ridge Holland. Unfortunately, in a matchup, in a move outside of the ring, this is where Big E unfortunately suffered his neck injury, which has then cost him to basically retire from in-ring action. Again, like I previously mentioned, a lot of the WWE Universe will not forgive him. Still don't like him simply because of that. But the thing is, accidents happen. It's not just on Ridge Holland. It's whoever produced the match to have a spot like that. And it's just part of wrestling that injuries are bound to happen. Some more serious than others. And here tonight, I do think that Ridge Holland, win or lose, this is a good opportunity for him to go ahead and revive his career. And how he said, make something out of it rather than just being remembered as the guy who basically ended Big E's career. So an opportunity for him to do that. It's going to be a difficult challenge to win the match here tonight as he faces off against a AAA Cruiserweight Champion who doesn't want to lose, because then if he loses, he has to give Ridge Holland a championship opportunity. He would have to meet the weight, yes, but nevertheless would be able to get a championship opportunity for that. So it's not going to be an easy matchup to come in here and face off against Trick Williams, but nevertheless, this whole opportunity to be back at the main roster can go ahead and allow him to, once again, as I've previously mentioned multiple times, to go ahead and just kind of give the WWE Universe a new, fresh idea of who he really is. He's not this man who just likes to injure people. He said before if he could go back in time, he would definitely change that. It wasn't like he did it on purpose. Accidents happen. Here tonight, he wants to, he wants this to be the beginning of this new start for him. And well, we'll go ahead and start, putting our focus on this match, Trick Williams, Ridge Holland, but I still want to mention one more time what's still to come later tonight. It is confirmed we will be hearing from Roxanne Perez, the Intercontinental Champion, and she will be confirming when her match against Ivy Nile will take place. A lot of us are hoping it takes place at Backlash, but it is up to the champions choosing, giving the champions a little bit more versatility, a little bit more control over their matches is what Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have decided to do for this season. At the end of the day, they are still the GMs. If they want to make a matchup out of nowhere, they have the power to do that, but they want to give a little bit more control to the champions to decide when to defend their titles. If they don't do it at all, again, GMs can still just put matches in place for them to defend their titles, but just giving a little bit more free will for the champion. So we'll hear when Roxanne Perez decides to go ahead and announce that championship matchup. And in the main event, as I mentioned previously, we would be having a number one contenders matchup. Well, that number one contenders matchup is going to be for the AAA Mega Championship. That is right, it's currently being held by Dragon Lee, and while Dragon Lee has defended it multiple times over on AAA, is yet to do so here on WWE. I guess AAA is part of WWE, but like in the sense of Raw, SmackDown, or official WWE PLE that isn't under the AAA brand. It gets confusing, but point is, he hasn't defended it here on the channel. And here tonight in the main events, we'll crown the number one contender, who will be his first title defense on the channel. Again, he's already had multiple in AAA. I think 2 or 3 against El Hijo del Vikingo. Laredo Kid has gotten an opportunity. I'm trying to think of who else, because I don't commentate AAA, so I gotta watch it, and I don't watch everything. I'm trying to think of someone else. I don't remember, but the point is, Dragon Lee has had like 7 title defenses over there or something like that. And he's looking to defend it here for the first time on the channel here on a WWE territory. So in the main events, we will be having Penta, El Cero Miedo, facing off against El Hijo del Vikingo. And that's not it, because this is a triple threat match. The third challenger for this number one contendership is Chad Gable. That is right, we have those 3 going at it. Chad Gable, El Hijo del Vikingo, and Penta, all battling it out in the main events here tonight as they try to become the number one contenders to the AAA Mega Championship. That all to come later tonight, but for now we continue to move our focus here on this match as Trick Williams, Ridge Holland going at it. Ridge Holland may have just secured the victory here. 1, 2. Trick Williams able to go ahead and kick out at 2. Trick Williams now instantly getting up. Clothesline, which drops Ridge Holland. And now Trick Williams, the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, has also been defending his Cruiserweight Championship over on AAA. I mean, that's kind of the bad thing of not having the full roster of AAA on 2K. I'm not able to have a AAA show where these guys can actually showcase those title defenses on the channel. But, you know, Dr. Wagner Jr., who's part of the SmackDown brand, Trick Williams, Lola Vice, Dragon Lee, all these AAA superstars who are, or I guess all these AAA champions who are WWE rostered superstars have all been defending their titles. And maybe one day we can have a big roster of TNA, and a big roster of AAA, and NXT, so that I can have all these shows, even if it's a little harder to follow, like, you know, for me to record. But it would be better to be actually be able to showcase well-propered shows rather than just having a bunch of downloaded characters which don't look as good as the real characters. I mean, look at the freaking Carmelo Hayes versus Leon Slater matchup. It looks like a real person literally versus a cartoon figure, and it looks kind of stupid. So, you know, maybe we'll get that fixed in the future, but for now, those guys will continue to defend their titles off camera. We will have some title defenses here on the show, here on the channel, but just know that they are defending their titles. They aren't no wussies that just don't defend their titles. They have been doing it off camera. But nevertheless, let's continue our focus here as Trick Williams trying to put a finish to this matchup. However, Ridge Holland able to escape, able to move out of the way of that attack right there. And now Trick Williams sent flying. He takes some big damage, also knocking down the ref while he's at it. And Ridge Holland now gonna look to send Trick Williams flying, and he does so. As now Ridge Holland looking to fly and makes a big splash onto Trick Williams. As now Ridge Holland gonna look for the finish, gonna look for the final blow on the outside of the ring. Hit the big stutter onto Trick Williams. Now all he has to do is throw him inside of the ring, pin him, and win the match. And Ridge Holland looks like he plans to do that. Sends Trick in. Looks for the pinfall. 1, 2. Oh, look at Trick Williams able to lift up his right shoulder at the very last second. Ridge Holland not happy. I think he's screaming at the ref that you had to count a little faster. Not sure if I fully agree. I think it was a pretty decent count. However, that opened up an opportunity for Trick Williams, and I think that's why Ridge Holland is so frustrated, because now Trick Williams has an opportunity to secure the victory. Big slam. Big slam, and now definitely gonna look for the trick shot. And he connects. Trick shot connects. That's gonna be it. The victory is for the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Trick Williams does it. He gets the victory here tonight against Ridge Holland. And while Ridge Holland had his moments, he is definitely showing that this is a new start for him. At the end of the day, it is the AAA Cruiserweight Champion who was able to get the 1, the 2, and the 3 to go ahead and secure the victory here tonight. Congratulations to both men on what was a spectacular matchup. But at the end of the day, it was Trick Williams who was able to go ahead and hit that trick shot to secure the victory. And then let's go ahead and jump to the celebrations, as Trick Williams seems very happy, very confident in himself that he was able to get that victory. And look at that, just taking in the moment, feeling it in. Congratulations to Trick Williams. And with this match being finished, it is now time to hear from Roxanne Perez. Here she comes, the Intercontinental Champion. She has something she wants to say. We're hoping this match happens at Backlash, but let's go ahead and hear her out. Ivy Nile, you are the number 1 contender to my title, and I am ready to defend it at any time, any place. But as a champion, I get to pick and choose where I want. Therefore, I'll see you at Backlash, Ivy. And Roxanne Perez has done it, doing what everyone was hoping for. This match now confirmed. Ivy Nile, Roxanne Perez, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Confirmed for Backlash. Now we have Oba versus Rusev, Gunther versus Goldberg, Jade versus Naomi, Roxanne versus Ivy, and all we have to wait now is for this Friday on SmackDown to go ahead and hear from Cody whether he goes ahead and accepts Randy's stipulation or not. If he does, we'll have our 5th confirmed matchup for Backlash, the first PLE of Season 2, which is going to look up to be a phenomenal card. A very interesting matchup. Throughout all those matches, of course, titles on the line, careers on the line. I'm excited for Backlash. But what I'm excited for right now, because I have it right in front of my eyes, is this main event here tonight in Puerto Rico, giving these fans a phenomenal final match of the night. Triple threat action. A number 1 contenders match to the AAA Mega Championship. We have Penta El Cero Miedo, a former Intercontinental Champion, former TNA World Champion, holding titles across all different types of brands here tonight, trying to earn himself an opportunity at the AAA Mega Championship. And I'm not sure if he's previously held it before. Let's see. Has Penta held the AAA Mega Championship? I'm not sure if he has held it before. So he has never held it. So that would be a huge opportunity for him to be able to go ahead and hold a title that he's never held before. Of course, he spent time in AAA. I'm sure he's won the tag titles over there, and maybe even the Latin American Championship. I'm sure he won titles over there. I know he won the mixed tag team titles, but he hasn't done the top prize. He hasn't won the top prize over there, being the AAA Mega Championship. Someone that has winning it twice is this man right here, El Hijo del Vikingo, coming out trying to become the number 1 contender and potentially earning himself his third title reign as AAA Mega Champion. He has the longest reign ever, as in his first title reign. Held it for over 800 days, unfortunately having to end that due to injury. Once he came back, held it for, I'm not sure how much he held it after. I think it was only 100 days or so. Losing it to Dragon Lee in the, Worlds Collide event of Saturday Night's Carnage. Losing that to the current champion, Dragon Lee. Since then, Vikingo has gotten some rematches over at AAA, has been unsuccessful in getting the championship back. So here tonight's another opportunity at trying to become the number one contender. And the third superstar, former WWE Speed Champion, but apart from that, hasn't held too much gold. I think tag team titles as well, but not a lot of singles gold. Chad Gable, big opportunity for him. Imagine Chad Gable being a world champion. I mean, these counts, usually when we talk about world championships here, we're only talking about WWE, but we got connections with AAA now. We got connections with TNA. We are able to accept those within their accolades. Well, there has been some people, for example, let's just say CM Punk, he's held AEW world titles. We don't count those. We don't. So for us, CM Punk, he won those, but those aren't prestigious to us. So basically what I gotta say is, with the TNA and AAA titles, those count. Those matter. So whether you're holding a World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE Championship, AAA Championship, or the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, those are the world titles here within the WWE. So it would be a big opportunity for all three of these men to be able to get it done. I think more specifically Penta and Chad Gable, who have never held these titles before, and who would be actively here within the main roster or WWE holding that title, compared to El Hijo del Vikingo, who would probably go ahead and take that title back to AAA, maybe defend it here and there in WWE territory, but mostly taking it back to AAA. But this match begins, triple threat match. As I always state, it is very tricky in triple threat matches because you get rid of one person and then you kind of forget about the next, and they end up usually taking advantage of that, of you being a little distracted with the other person. They can go ahead and beat you right there and then with that distraction. So everyone just has to keep their eyes on everyone. You only got two eyes. You got two people to worry about. They could be on separate edges of the ring. So it's going to be difficult. But whoever comes out on top is going to be the man who just right place, right time, because sometimes not even the best man wins. That's the other tricky thing with this matchup. It really is just, it takes skill, yes, but also takes a little bit of chance, a little bit of luck, you would say. Being able to make sure that there is no other opponent in the ring. Being able to get that pinfall at the perfect timing where no one can kick out, no one can break it. So, interesting matchup here tonight. Our main event of the night. AAA Mega Championship number one contenders match. Penta, El Cero Miedo, El Hijo del Vikingo, and Chad Gable all battle it out for an opportunity to face Dragon Lee in the near future for the AAA Mega Championship. And at the moment, it is Chad Gable who is doing some enormous damage onto El Hijo del Vikingo. Penta trying to get involved in between these two as he brings in a kendo stick inside of the ring. There is currently already one, but this one in the hands of Penta is doing some damage onto Chad Gable. And big damage as that kendo stick is just penetrating through the skin of Chad Gable and may shatter on his body, and it does. El Hijo del Vikingo watches Chad Gable got attacked. Now he wants to be attacked as well. However, he's able to counter as he's had some time to recover. And now Penta's going to be met by a nice little pin for El Hijo del Vikingo to win the match. Kick out at one by Penta. As El Hijo del Vikingo is not yet finished here. Gonna look for a little more. Oh, kind of stealing Penta's move there. That's a move that Penta usually hits. And Chad Gable with a quick roll-up as Vikingo was distracted. A kick out at one. But that is exactly what I'm talking about. You get rid of one person, completely forget about the other, and they're able to take advantage by the fact you're distracted. And Penta, met by a big kick from El Hijo del Vikingo. Still Penta able to move out of the way. He wants to look for a finisher, and he's going to look for the Mexican Destroyer to win the match. Chad Gable's right there instantly breaking the count. That's another thing, and I continue to say because it continues to be the truth. These triple threat matches are so difficult to win, as El Hijo del Vikingo Penta lay on the floor and on the mat. Penta rising, El Hijo del Vikingo rising. Chad Gable on the outside of the ring battling it out with Penta interrupting that as he flies off of the top ropes, and now Chad Gable interrupts a little brawl between Penta and El Hijo del Vikingo. Everyone is just going at everyone, and is making this match so tricky to even think about who's going to win this match. As now Penta with a steel step sent straight into the body and face of El Hijo del Vikingo, throwing it straight at him. And now Chad Gable being thrown into the steel steps, and the LED barricade now met by a steel chair onto that big head of Chad Gable, but a kick by El Hijo del Vikingo doing some big damage onto Penta, as now El Hijo del Vikingo looking to grab Penta, looking to finish off El Cero Miedo. Now you just gotta throw him inside of the ring and look for the pinfall, but El Hijo del Vikingo decides not to. Instead, gonna go ahead and focus up on Chad Gable. This allowing Penta to be able to recover, to be able to get back up inside of the ring. And now he awaits both El Hijo del Vikingo and Chad Gable, maybe looking to fly. Realizes he's a little on the wrong end. Gonna try the other end now, potentially. But El Vikingo moving a lot, not even allowing Penta to try to fly off of the top ropes. Penta hits his little dance, showing he has no fear. He's feeling his groove. He's feeling the rhythm of this match. And he awaits in the middle of the ring with the kendo stick. Is at the moment Chad Gable being beat up by El Hijo del Vikingo with a steel chair. Penta decides enough is enough. These guys ain't coming in. Let me go outside, but he is quickly met by some big hits from Chad Gable. Big damage has been done to all three superstars in this matchup, but right now it is Chad Gable who's doing more damage. Almost hits a suplex on El Hijo del Vikingo, but somehow he's able to land it thanks to the LED barricade. And now Chad Gable sends El Hijo del Vikingo in. Boot to the face by Penta onto Chad Gable, who is now sent straight into the barricade. Big stomps and kicks by Penta, who now looks to hop inside of the ring. Penta Hurricane Rana onto El Hijo del Vikingo. What is he going to look to do here? Big stomp. Another. Now looking for the pinfall to win the match. One. And a quick kick out at one by El Hijo del Vikingo. As this match continues, Chad Gable celebrating with the crowd while Penta and El Hijo del Vikingo continue their attack on each other. Penta just finishing with El Hijo del Vikingo. Is distracted on him. Allows Chad Gable to be able to hit a nice suplex. And Penta rolls outside of the ring as Chad Gable using the ropes may secure the victory here. Penta rushes in with a sense of danger, trying to break the count. Fortunately, Vikingo was able to go ahead and kick out just in time. Hurricane Rana by Penta onto Chad Gable. And now Penta prevents El Hijo del Vikingo from using that. Quick roll up. Hold on. El Hijo del Vikingo 1, 2. Kick out at 2. I was about to say prevents El Hijo del Vikingo from using that steel chair on him. Penta countering El Hijo del Vikingo once more and continues his attack onto El Hijo del Vikingo now with a candlestick, trying to continue his damage. El Hijo del Vikingo, though, instead may win the match. Chad Gable is there instantly, though, and Chad Gable could steal the victory. He could pin Penta right here, right now, and steal the victory. Instead, he's looking for more damage. Takes off the straps. Chad Gable needs to look for the pinfall. Instead, climbs the top ropes and there allows Penta enough time to roll outside of the ring. That was the moment for Chad Gable to win this number one contenders matchup. Trying to bite off a little bit more than he can chew. Being a little too hesitant with his attacks. And this match continues as now Penta sends Chad Gable flying outside of the ring. El Hijo del Vikingo with a candlestick Penta trying to stop him quickly, not able to do so. Instead, El Hijo del Vikingo rushing Penta straight into the turnbuckle. Penta is able to counter and now sends El Hijo del Vikingo over the top ropes. As now the only man inside of the ring is Penta. Penta gonna look to fly and a big splash onto El Hijo del Vikingo. All three men outside of the ring. Chad Gable hops inside and hits a little gracias, a little thank you to the fans. And now, Chad Gable gonna look for the ankle lock. And Penta very well may be in trouble as El Hijo del Vikingo trying to break the submission hold here, but isn't able to do so as Chad Gable just ignoring him. Luckily for him, Penta is able to go ahead and escape that submission hold on his own. And now Penta, who is focused on Chad Gable, and I don't even know what's happening right there. I can't say enough. Chad Gable sent straight into the turnbuckle. Hold on. Quick roll up by Vikingo, who may steal the victory. 2, 3, and he does. El Hijo del Vikingo steals the victory. A quick roll up and a pinfall for the 1, 2, 3 onto a distracted Penta, who's too focused on sending Chad Gable into the turnbuckle, trying to, do some damage onto him, and allows El Hijo del Vikingo to steal the victory, and he will earn another opportunity at the AAA Mega Championship this time on WWE territory. Penta's not going to be happy with that. This match could have kept going on, but El Hijo del Vikingo, in a very sneaky manner, as I previously talked about since the beginning of this match, you forget about the other person, and Penta forgot about El Vikingo very quickly, and that allowed him to get the 1, 2, 3. I can't wait to see this matchup. I can't wait to hear from Dragon Lee. For now, celebrations begin for El Hijo del Vikingo. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all next time.